Eric's Projects with the final installment of the open drive conversion on the 52. I've been out driving it around now. Runs good, drives good. I bought a Driveshaft out of a S10 truck. Apparently they must be all the same. Regular cab, short box, two-wheel drive. And I had it shortened 3 inches, but I think that was wrong. It seems a little short now. I think maybe I'll even buy another Driveshaft or just remeasure and stick it in stock length. I think the stock length may work, or it may only need to be shortened by 1 inch. What I did when I measured, I had the car sitting up on the frame on jack stands and the rear axle just hanging. Well, and I took my measurement there, but once I put the load onto the tires and the shackles swung back around and set back into place, that axle actually moves back a little bit. So therefore, 3 inches was a little bit too much to take out of the drive shaft. You know, maybe I could have got away with 1 inch or maybe 2 or maybe none at all. But I'll remeasure. But either way, it's in, it's running, it's hooked up, it's driving. I just took this on a 90-mile round trip on the freeway. Our freeway speeds here are 65 miles an hour, kind of in town. And once you're out of town, the speed limit kicks up to 80. And for this little 216, boy, it does it all. No problem doing 65 miles an hour. Kick it up to 70, 75. It cruises just good. You're in most of the throttle at 75 miles an hour. Got out on the flat ground there and just put the pedal all the way down, and it easily held 83 to 85 miles an hour just running down the road. Just out of this 216, it's all stock. Nothing's been done to it. It's got 62,000 miles on it. The 5-speed transmission has the .86 overdrive, and the rear end has 342 gears in it, and I'm running the 205 75/15 tires, which is pretty close to stock size. So anyway, I'm impressed. I'm happy. This thing works. This drives. The 5-speed works good. I got to go in and do a little tinkering. I got to throw out bearing that's making a bunch of noise on me, so I'll swap that out, but that's minor. But in the end, this swap has been great. I mean, everybody said it's great, and I love it too. If you're curious of doing it, do it. T5 5-speed out of an S10. I used the Jeep CJ5 input shaft and trimmed it down a little bit. That way it stuck right into my stock clutch and flywheel and all that. So no adapters needed for the transmission, just the input shaft. The drive shaft from a S10 regular cab short box two-wheel drive, and the rear end from an S10 four-wheel drive truck. I kind of wish I would have went with a higher gear ratio. The 342 is still a little bit low. I'm constantly running around town in 4th gear just for a cruising RPM and cruising speed. I don't have a tach in the car, so I don't know what the RPMs are, but just kind of listen and feel, especially the way it was before. But the 342 works out really good. Pulls off in 1st gear, no problem at all. I mean, doesn't feel like it's underpowered or undergeared. But like I said, I'm certainly glad I didn't do a 373 rear end. That would have been way too low, even with the overdrive. But the 342 works out. I kind of wish I would have found maybe a 331 or even a 308 for cruising. But you know what? That's just fine for me. Like I said, our speed limit here is 80 miles an hour on the freeway. This thing will run 75, no problem at all. Oh, I did for fuel mileage. I did track it because I filled up right before I left on this trip. And fuel mileage was exactly 18 miles a gallon running, 75 miles an hour, and got some hills, and it'll still pull the hills at 70. But, which is good, it's not amazing, but that could have had something to do with the half of the tank of gas that was in there was from 2.5 years ago. And as gas sits, it gets older and loses its efficiency. And then I topped it off with some brand new gas, so it's kind of a mix in there. And so maybe it'll get a little better, maybe it won't, but when you're running 90% throttle to do 75, 80 miles an hour anyway, you're gonna burn more gas, especially out of this. But I'm thrilled. I couldn't be happier. It's running, driving, 5-speed, good mileage for me. Probably gets even better in town because I'm not running wide open with it. I love it. So thanks for watching these episodes. Check out the first few parts of this open drive conversion if you want to know how to do it yourself. And drive your cars and enjoy your cars. God bless you.